Hello, America. This is Russell B. Couples once again coming to you on Phase 4, I believe it is, on my weekly address to the people. Like I said, my name is Russell B. Couples. You had to excuse my dress here. I'm a hard-working man, small engine mechanic. There's no sense in wearing a suit and tie to work. I am at work talking to you before I get busy back there. But there's a few things I want to talk to you about. If I were president, it needs to be done regardless of who's president. Some things we need to do. Number one, get the deficit down, obviously. $15 trillion is entirely too much. We must get that down. The way that we going to get that down, or we need to get that down, is decrease imports. Start doing most of the work here in the United States, where we have the best workers uh, in the world here. Because this is a melting pot, we have the greatest minds from all over the world, greatest hands here. So we need to decrease imports. We need to increase exports. We must get our quality up to par. We have some of the, like I said, some of the greatest workers in the world right here, some of the greatest minds, the best experience, the hardest workers. But we must get our quality up. The cars, the automobiles that we export out of this country says a lot about what we can achieve here in the States. We need to get the quality up there. We need to look. It needs to look and feel like there's pride put into that vehicle. That says a lot, like I said, about America, what we can accomplish. Um, we must get the quality up in them vehicles. The quality is getting better. Tighter tolerances, this and that. But we have a problem with some of the finishes, like the interiors. We need to upgrade some of the materials we use in the interiors of these vehicles. Make it look like there is actually pride. If you're going to use plastic, let's do a little better pattern, a little better grain, a little better plastics. It don't need to sound like it's actually a toy car going down the road. Let's get some of this quality up. Like the companies are doing very good at that, but we must do better. That says a lot about what we can achieve here. So we need to increase exports, but we need to get the quality control up. We need to create new jobs for Americans. You decrease imports. There you go. More jobs for Americans. Simple as that. How about that? Simple, ain't it? They won't do it. Don't know why. We need more small business loans. Some of these companies has left America and gone to other countries to do business. We need more businesses. The best way to get more businesses and put more Americans to work is through small business loans. This would be better achieved if we could get the deficit there. We need more technology-based education. I come from a long line of hard workers. Most people in my generation were hard workers or are hard workers. We done things from hauling hay, chopping cotton. Believe it or not, I did not go barefooted through 4 feet of snow uphill to school 50 miles. I didn't do all that. But I did chop cotton, and I was the daddy of a sharecropper preacher man. How's that for America? uh, we uh, we have got to get the newer generations, the younger generations, more associated with hard work. We need technology-based education, like I said. That we need more hands-on experience. Um, these will make you a great living if you know what you're doing and you don't mind working. They will make you a great living. We need to close the borders. We have entirely too many immigrants coming over here working and not becoming American citizens, which I wish they would. Um, we don't need to pay for all this medical expenses and feeding these people when they're not Americans. I do love the idea of the melting pot scenario. We have really enjoyed thousands of years or hundreds of years, or whatever. This is a melting pot. I want it to remain a melting pot, but we must get some of these immigrants to become citizens or go back where they came from. We cannot support them. I would love to say we can, but we can't. Our leaders need to understand that this is America. We have American people here that are hungry, need to go to work, need medical expenses paid. We cannot do that if we're taking care of other countries. You become an American citizen, you're entitled to everything every other American citizen is. Until then, you're basically on your own. That's the way it needs to be. Um, we also need to close the borders due to drugs. Drugs is killing this country. You know it. I know it. We need to have that is also putting a strain on the government, raising the deficit. We need to take care of that. We need harsher sentences for drug dealers, drug-related crimes, gun-related crimes. We must have harsher, stiffer sentences, even if we have to create more prisons to do so. In the long run, it would save us money. Um, there is no more slaps on the wrist for any drug or um, gun-related crimes. This is very serious. We must take care of this. Uh, it is sad what this country is coming to. We must have our guns. Um, that is part of our constitutional right. We need to get back to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, but I'll get back to that. I don't know if I'll make it in this one, but the next video I will. We need to reduce entitlements. Day of gimme is over. We have got to reduce entitlements. And no, this is not some kind of racist bull crap, okay? I'm not racist. I'm talking about American people as a whole. We have got to reduce entitlements. One of the best ways to do that is put people to work. Stop some of the imports. We have got to put people to work. We put people to work, and it will stop some of the entitlements. Plain and simple. Food stamps, welfare, what have you. People must pass a drug test before getting on welfare or food stamps or any other kind of aid, family first, whatever. You must pass a drug test. If you do not pass that drug test, you can get your benefits provided you do go to drug counseling while you're getting them. You must pass the drug tests. You do not pass the drug test, you are off and out of the system. Period. We must get some disabled workers to work. I understand that some people can't work, but a lot of these disabled workers, they want to work. They want to. They don't want to be thought of any different than anybody else. I'm not saying we force disabled workers to work. I'm not saying that. I am saying if they so choose, there should be jobs out there for these people to go to work. Again, that would reduce the strain on the government. I'm not blaming these people for being disabled. Nobody is. Like I said, I would never ever force these people to go to work. But if they're willing to, let them. But we must find jobs for them. Simple as that. We need to make English the national language. That'll would assure that we can actually have a conversation with the other person and understand it. We don't need this many languages in America. We must make English the national language. Period. Plain and simple. You don't learn it. Sorry, you don't get no help except in emergencies. Pardon me. We must close the borders as far as drugs, as far as immigrants coming in here. Like I said, Immigrants, I think, should work for 1 year free and clear. After that, to get the ball rolling and become an American citizen within 6 months. They should learn the English language within that year. That's 2 years total. Paid for by the government for the first 6 months that they're trying to get to be a citizen. Then then they do have the same benefits as an American during that time, as long as they're trying to become a citizen. Um, After that, if they don't decide to become or even get the ball rolling, then they get transported back to where they come from. We need to fingerprint and photograph everybody that comes across the borders. Anybody that is red coded, in other words, is a criminal in the system, known criminal, does not get over here, is not allowed to pass through the border. We need to do that. We need to get some of these National Guards to work, I think, on possibly even cracking down on drugs to help the local law enforcement out. That is up to the states, obviously. It would be their call, and if they wanted to help, the government would allow the National Guard to do so. Otherwise, we would not force the issue. But the option would be there. We need to get rid of ethanol. Ethanol is 15% less efficient. I don't care what people say. I'm a small engine mechanic. I see the effects every day of increased combustion chamber heat, which in turn creates catastrophic failure in some of the small engines. Cars the same way. These older vehicles cannot handle it. The fields that we're using to grow corn should be used to grow food instead of importing this food, which is ridiculous. We should be growing our own food, and we can't because the fields are full of corn for ethanol. The EPA needs to get their head out of it, but understand that this is a bad idea for America. It costs the consumer a fortune to compensate for the effects of ethanol. We shouldn't have to import food. We've got more than enough fields to do so, to grow the food, even for export if we so choose. But we must take care of the American people first. All of this is to get rid of the deficit and to help American people get back to work. The more income that the government is getting, the more the deficit goes down. The more deficit goes down, the more self-sustained we are. We must start drilling for our own oil. I understand the EPA has a problem with that, and so do some other people. But we must do so, or we need to start transferring or turning everything into propane fire. One of the two. But ethanol is not the answer. It never will be the answer. It didn't work in the 80s. It's not going to work now. So it's a junk fuel, bad fuel. That's at 10%. They're talking about adding another 5%. There's not a small engine in the world that can handle that. Probably not an older vehicle in the world that can handle that. Why do you think cars are E85 compatible, the new ones? Because the old ones can't handle it. They have to be designed to do so. It's hard on the rubbers, the fuel lines, carburetors, fuel injectors, O-rings. It's hard on everything. We just need to get rid of it. It's costing the consumer entirely too much money, and the United States entirely too much money. You're talking about adding, increasing the price of fuel by what, 10%? I mean 10 cents on the gallon, something like that. Which is, when it's that high, is kind of tough, but it has to be done. We got to get rid of ethanol. In the long run, it'll save us a lot of money. That's about it for this session, Phase 4. I've only got 15 minutes. There's some more stuff I would like to talk about, but I will do that next week when I do my other speech. I hope everybody will listen to this and understand and accept it. If I had the ability to run for president, I would. And these are the issues that I would cover. But that being the case that I do not have $2.5 million or 700,000 signatures, and I'm just going to have to talk to you, and hopefully you understand. Good luck, everybody. I love everybody in America, all my American brothers and sisters. Together we can turn this country around. We must get rid of politicians, uh, long-term politicians, career politicians. We've got to get rid of them. God bless. Amen. I can say that. This is America. Have a good day.